Good morning. It's Monday. This is my third episode back since COVID began. Heading to Tel Aviv today for some cool meetings, but just wanted to say that having not vlogged for so long, getting back into it, kind of watching all the different things and segments of the vlog and wondering if there's any feedback. So if you have feedback and thoughts on how to make this vlog better, hit me anywhere, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Just send me a message. I'm actually very curious what your thoughts are and how I can make this thing even better. Now heading to Sarona area to meet a guy named Noam Solomon, who's the founder of a company called Immunai, Immunai. It's a company I wrote about last week, 2 weeks ago on the Jerusalem Post, my weekly column. They kind of built a window into our immune system. So it's a really crazy cool company. Meeting him, then I'm going to some TV studios for a company I'm working with called GroCompass, which is a virtual event produced by a guy named Yaki Dayan, who did the Education Summit last year. I interviewed him then, and we're working together on something new format, obviously because of the circumstances. A couple other meetings throughout the day, and then a couple of cool calls later on with San Francisco. It's going to be a great day, and glad to be vlogging again, but definitely need some feedback. Hit me with that. Let's do this. Made it to Tel Aviv, and this is just, I'm never going to get used to this. Parked my car here in the lot. Going to meet Noam from Immunai. Immunai. Interesting name, because Immunai in Hebrew means my faith. I don't think it's a play on words or anything, but maybe I'm overthinking this. Anyway, pumped to meet this company. Pretty incredible stuff they're doing. Also, I miss the city. So I'm finishing up a meeting here with the founders of a company called Immunai. Is that how it's pronounced? Immunai? Okay. And I'm going to say that in my career, I would say I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've met true, real-life, mad scientists. And that's what I feel like today. I'm meeting true, real-life, like I'm talking Back to the Future Doc. Remember Doc from Back to the Future, the white hair? Except you guys are way better looking than how I would picture mad scientists. But let me try to dumb it down, and then I'm going to ask you some information about this company, because this is like truly mind-blowing. But before I ask you, because I'm just going to try to, I would say the premise that we've all heard when it comes to cancer research and curing cancer, etc., is, we have to stop talking about curing cancer because every cancer is different, and lung cancer and melanoma have nothing in common. These guys kind of bring that premise into question and say, yes, the tumor looks different, but when you draw blood and you look at the actual blood of a cancer patient, there are a lot of similar pieces of data. Not only that, but a lot of the data from one type of cancer to another is transferable, so you can learn patterns when analyzing different types of cancer. And the comparison that you made is when Google is able to recognize a dog and a cat in a picture. A dog and a cat are different, but there are many similar, let's call it database assets, for lack of a better term, that they can say, okay, well, 4 legs, animal, this is a dog, okay, now I can extract from that and learn what this is and know that it's a cat. I'm obviously oversimplifying, but before we talk about the technology at Immunai, I just want a little context on this company. So the company has 31 people working here? 31 people. What's your name, by the way?
Luis Voloch.
Luis. Okay, you're the CTO of this company. Okay, 31 people working here. You raised $20 million from TLV Partners and Viola, 2 incredible VCs. And, forget for one second the incredible, and we'll talk about it, the incredible research going on here. Forget it all. Talk to me about the team. Tell me about some of the members of this team. Let's start with the graphical designer of this team. Tell me about her.
Sure, sounds great. Yeah.
Her. Tell me, what's her name?
Her name is Leah Buri.
Leah Buri. She's the designer of the company. So we're not talking CTO, we're not talking engineering, the designer. Tell me her background.
Yeah, so Leah has a PhD from Oxford and a postdoc in cell biology from MIT. So I'm glad you asked about the team. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So I'm glad you asked. It's really the thing I think we're the most proud of and the most humble to be working with such people. So we have in the team it's about 25% MIT grads. We have a bunch of Berkeley postdocs that move back to Israel to work with us. Our team in New York is New York, Harvard and the New York Genome Center people. Our developers are more over half of them are Talpiot graduates. So we're really honored to be working with them.
Are you allowed to talk about some of the companies or a specific company that some of the people came from, or you don't want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah. So we also have.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on before you say. I just want to a little build up here. So I've been very fortunate over the years, and you guys have been exposed to some of the companies that I've met with. There are a lot of incredible companies in tech as a whole, specifically in Israel. But if you were to say to me, and I get this question a lot, what is the craziest company? What is the craziest company you've ever seen? It would be a split between and one of these two companies is pretty much no longer. It would be a split between Magic Leap and Palantir. Magic Leap, a company that raised $3 billion before they had a product, but they've kind of, because of Corona and everything, the CEO is replaced and they fired half, so they're off. The other one is Palantir, and Palantir is just a phenomenal company for just a whole bunch of reasons, but just a level of secrecy, and nobody even, the people involved in our company, nobody. So how many people in this company did you recruit from Palantir?
We have, I think, 7 ex-Palantirians in the company.
I feel like that is all I need to know. You recruit 7 people from Palantir, you know there's something crazy going on here. Okay, so let me ask you this. Like I said at the beginning, you're a mad scientist, despite your good looks. And if you could, I'm going to ask you a really hard question right now. Try to, if my grandmother is watching, okay, try to explain to her what Immunai does, but super dumb it down.
So Immunai is trying to map the immune system and understand how the immune system plays a role in all different kinds of diseases. And we're starting by focusing largely on cancer.
That was great. I'm gonna dumb down even some more, if I may. When people, even a person who doesn't know, thankfully, a lot about cancer, but when I hear about the potential treatments and cures for cancer, the words immune system are always part of that discussion. Why? Because what is the immune system supposed to do? It's supposed to protect me. And if I can somehow activate my immune system to kill off those cancer cells, then we're in good shape,
exactly.
Right? So everyone kind of knows that. But how many people really understand, in depth, what is this thing, this mysterious thing called the immune system? It's you imagine this monster attacking the cancer. What is the immune system? And so, of course, immunologists understand a little bit about the immune system and, getting smarter, but has anybody really gone in depth to really map out what is this thing called the immune system? To the level of, listen to this, these guys, for how much blood? For one draw of blood?
Less than 1 milliliter. Yeah.
1 milliliter of blood. How much data do you guys extract?
It generates about a terabyte of data.
A terabyte, 1,000 gigabytes of data from a milliliter of blood.
Yeah, it's a lot of information.
That's wild.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are mapping out the immune system. Now take it to the next level. Tell me, what does that actually mean?
Yeah. So mapping out the immune system means 2 things mostly, is mapping out all the different players of the immune system. So the immune system has a lot of different cell types, so on the hundreds likely, and they have different kinds of states in which they can be in.
Right.
So depending on whether they are in your bloodstream or whether they are in your joints or whether they are fighting cancer, they behave in different ways.
Right.
But they're still sort of the same characters. And what we're doing is mapping out these immune cells in all different scenarios in which they are.
Okay.
And when you look at all of them from the top down, it allows you to understand them all better. So I'm doing this in comparison with just looking at them in the context of one disease in the joints, where you kind of see things out of context, right? You only see that character playing that one specific role, but you don't understand where it's coming from, how it changed, and all of that. So when we look at all of them from the top down in many different scenarios, it allows us to see many different patterns that were not possible.
So if I'm going to again try to translate what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is many companies are looking at the immune system, but they're looking at it from the bottom up and saying, okay, I want to figure out what role the immune system plays in lung cancer. So I'm going to look at lung cancer, I'm going to look at my cells, I'm going to extract as much data as I can about that cell that's causing the lung cancer, that cancerous cell, and then build up. You're saying, no, let's look at the top, let's look at the immune system, and across horizontally across all diseases, right? And yes, cancer might be where you're starting, but at the end of the day, the immune system, it impacts much more than cancer. So you're looking at the immune system as a whole.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, who are the founders of this company? Again, like if you think the designer is impressive, and she is, talk to me about the founder. How many founders of the company?
We are 2 co-founders and 3 scientific founders. So my co-founder is Noam Solomon, who's an amazing person as well. He has 2 PhDs, a postdoc from Harvard and MIT.
I wish you could be on camera. Where the hell is he? We want to be on camera. I'm big, like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's an amazing guy as well. It's great to work with a CEO that I also trust technically, who really understands what's going on,
right?
And contributes to that. It's really I'm really.
He seems unbelievable. I just wish we could go on camera next time. All right. Okay, yeah.
And we also have 3 scientific founders. So 2 of them are Stanford faculty who are specialized in cancer immunology and exactly in this intersection of single cell biology and machine learning.
They're top of the game.
They are top of the game at the prime of their career. Yeah,
literally the top experts in the world.
Yeah, they are the ones publishing some of the biggest papers coming out. They're as good as it gets.
Are their names public or
Yeah. They're called Ansu Satpathy and Danny Wells. Yeah, and they're truly amazing as well. And the third one is Dan Littman, who's a professor in NYU, who's again still for decades has been at his prime, and he's one of the made some key discoveries in immunology throughout the decades. And
I have 2 things to say.
Very close to
I have 2 things to say to you. First of all, I said to you guys before, and I've said this before on the vlog many times, you know when I'm happiest? When I'm the dumbest one in the room. Like when I'm at a table with super smart people and my brain is expanding. I feel like I love that. But I think this is a little bit exaggerated. It's like the margin of intelligence, and I'm telling you, these guys, just wild. But more importantly, on a serious note, everyone talks about Israeli tech. Right? Everyone talks about startup nation. Forget startup nation. Companies in Israel doing innovative things. And then another word that's thrown out often is impact. Right? Making an impact. It doesn't get much more impactful and much more just spectacular than this company. And like I asked you before, you guys are building, this is a long-term game. Obviously, what a company like this has to go through until, let's call it, you have a product, right? An actual cure or whatever it may be is years in the making. But the level of intelligence, innovation, out of the box thinking, just creativity in this small little space right here is just, it's off the charts. And you also have people here that came to Israel to work for this company, correct?
Yeah. So we have 2 MIT graduates that moved to Israel and are working with us. They both made Aliyah. So I think actually we should apply for some grant from the Absorption Ministry as well. We have 2 Berkeley, 1 postdoc and one PhD.
Is there anyone normal in this company?
I think I'm normal.
You're normal, yeah. Let's talk about him. But thank you for that segue. Perfect. Tell me about your background. You asked for it, man. I was going to go there anyway, but that was a perfect segue. Give me your background.
So I grew up in Brazil. So I'm also an Ole Hadash in Israel, and I lived for 10 years in the US. I studied in MIT for my undergrad and my master's, and then I dropped out of my PhD program to go work in Palantir.
Okay, but see, you just said you studied at MIT. Mm-hmm. Did you just study at MIT, or did you accomplish some things at MIT? Is there something specific that maybe you? Come on, man, you can't avoid it. What did you do at MIT?
So I studied math for my undergrad, and then for the master's and the PhD part, I was studying computer science, and I won the best thesis award during the PhD track.
I'm going to repeat that just in case you didn't. The best thesis award at MIT. This guy right here. When I said to you before, we're talking about mad scientists, I wasn't kidding. This company is completely, I've met a lot of companies. This is something else. Listen, dude. Bottom line is like this. I met you guys through your investor because I asked Viola for a company I should write about. They introduced me, and I'm happy they did. And I like to end interviews and meetings with startups and with companies by saying, if there's ever anything I can do to help you guys. But I feel like, what on earth could I possibly do to help you guys? Marketing, I don't even know. But if there is ever anything I can do to help, dude, honestly, the amount of information that I absorbed in the last half an hour is just outrageous. But really, take me up on my offer. Is there anything I can do to help?
We'll do for sure. I wanted to add something. So relating to it, so Noam and I always joke about it. In MIT, there is this thing called the imposter syndrome. Have you heard about it?
I have imposter syndrome every day. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. So the joke is that whoever gets into MIT, they feel like they somehow cheated the system, that someone let them in without by mistake, and they just feel like the stupidest person. And Noam and I really feel like this here. as well. Which is, and I think like we have this like really special feeling that like a lot of people in the office feel like they're honored to be working with like the other people in the office. That's something that we really want to keep.
I just gotta tell you, I did a commencement speech at a college in New York, and literally when they asked me to do the commencement speech, I read my email like 15. I was like, "You sure you mean me and not someone else?" Like, who the heck am I? Like, honestly, I feel imposter syndrome every day of my life, and I get to meet people like you. Like, who am I? Like, what? What have I done in my life? Every day of my life. You know what? All I have to say is stay humble, man. It's unbelievable. And listen, dude, when you guys, and again, I'm saying these words carefully, right? When you cure cancer, which is something that I would, before this meeting, I wouldn't have said, because the response is, there's no such thing as curing cancer. Every cancer is different. But when you cure cancer because you take those insights from one cancer and transfer that knowledge to another, remember the little people. That's all I'm saying, man. Dude, it's unbelievable. Super honored to meet you. Keep doing what you're doing. And if there's ever anything I can do to help, you let me know. You know where to find me. Thanks, dude. Appreciate your time. I feel like we're shaking hands. I don't know if we should be shaking hands, but whatever. Well, that was kind of an outrageous meeting. Now I'm in the part of Tel Aviv called Ramat HaChayal, where I started my career. My first job was here. Going to TV studios now to meet a team that I've been working with on a new kind of virtual event. Hopefully you'll hear more. People will be able to get an interview in, but not really sure what to expect. Excited to meet the people though, because I've known them for years, and they're all a bunch of rock stars. So that's exciting, and I've not been in this place for a very long time. Brings back a lot of memories. First of all, I just came from a meeting with like people that like, I was talking to my friend Hila, who's behind the camera. I'm gonna turn the camera around soon. Okay. About people that are changing the world. And speaking of people who are changing the world, 3 months ago, I get an email from a guy who I know from the edtech world, the education world, who had a summit in Tel Aviv last year, which was incredible. And he said he's about to build something that's gonna change the game. And my bell started to go off in my brain. I was like, what are we talking about? Everybody's on Zoom, everybody's worried about, conferences and this and that. He says, we're gonna build a new format, TV production quality, world leaders in terms of, thought leadership on education, all together, 28 hours straight of content. I said, where do I sign? So I joined this, I don't even want to say, it's not, this initiative as an advisor. I'm working with the team, and many of you I'm meeting right now for the first time. It really is potentially game-changing. Who are you? What's your name?
Okay, so I'm Emily.
Emily. First of all, you sound completely American. I'm just gonna point that out.
Yeah, my mother's American.
Okay, good. All right, so you're Emily, and I want you to pretend that I'm your grandmother right now. I know nothing, okay? What is going on right now? What is happening? Talk to me.
Okay, so what's going on now is that we know that the world got this coronavirus, and a lot of people find themselves unemployed. And me myself also found myself unemployed. And I found that my passion in life is children, about working on changing the education system in the world. And we have the technology today to make the world work differently. And then this coronavirus came, and I was unemployed. And Zoom just controlled everyone. And
isn't it amazing, by the way, how Zoom became like a verb? First of all, I don't even understand, honestly. I think historians are going to analyze this for decades, because there are 1,000 different video platforms out there. How did Zoom, sorry, it's my ADD, but it's just amazing to me. Zoom became...
It is amazing, because prior to Corona, if you would say that everyone would transfer to Zoom, Zoom didn't expect it, and they didn't know how to deal with this change.
100%, and by the way, their company valuation reflects accordingly. They're worth more than all the airlines together.
Exactly.
My kids know what Zoom is. That's not. It's the crazy.
So we understand that right now we're in a time in the humanity that things are changing.
Right.
The concept of how we work, how we learn, how we speak to one another is changing. So because I found that my passion is edtech, I got to this job via Facebook, and the only reason I'm here is because I am passionate about edtech, and I think it's going to change the world.
You know what the problem is with edtech, though? It sounds too much like edtech.
Education technology.
But I'm just going to be very clear. We're not talking about advertising. God forbid. It's a dirty word. But okay, education technology. Okay.
It's talking about that we have a concept of how people are supposed to learn, and that is the education system. But things can change. We're basing how we think we need to learn about a story that the humanity built over the years.
Right.
But now we're in a time that things can change.
Okay. So what are we building here? talk to me like practically. What are we doing here?
So, I'm a producer at the edtech event. It's going to be a global event. We're bringing together the minds of people from 9 territories, just to create a platform that we can talk and we can understand how things are going to change and how we can impact the world, and not just now, what we're doing now, but how we can affect the years to come. And we're creating this global solidarity that everyone comes together and wants to change the world to a better place.
I'm just gonna say right now, if this education thing doesn't work out for you, you should do marketing. You are really good. I'm just telling you, someone who's been working in marketing, your communication skills are top notch. Okay, so there's this guy, Yaki Dayan, who
he's a dreamer.
By the way, you took the words right out of my mouth. He's the Steve Jobs of this operation.
Yes.
He's got dreams like I've never in my life, right? And we're all his Steve Wozniaks.
Yes.
We're little Wozniaks around the earth here, right? We're executing his dream. But the truth is, I literally, right before I turned on the camera, I said to everyone else in the room, like, how did he bring these people? I mean, the people that are involved here, like I had the chance to interview some of them. I'm gonna be interviewing the rest of them the next week. They're like, I mean, people that have the ability to impact millions of children and students around the world in every geography. And they're on board. They're on board because it's an amazing dream. So now just on a practical level here, in terms of production, not only, you talked about the solidarity and the geographies, but it's also going to be broadcast. So talk to me like a little bit about the content here in terms of what we can expect someone's watching.
So it's going to be 9 hours of live broadcast that each hour has a different theme, a different topic we're going to talk about. Panels are going to discuss this topic. And I think that just bringing all the minds together and talking about these things and understanding that we can change and we can make smarter decisions based on knowledge and understanding that we have the technology to not use to how we used to learn years ago. We have today the how do you say it?
Infrastructure.
Yes.
Right.
The infrastructure to create something new.
Right, I love it. Okay, so if someone's watching, and by the way, just warning all of you guys in the room right now, I'm going to be turning the camera around in a second, so put on your makeup, okay? Because I want people to see who's involved here. But if someone's watching this, they want to learn more. The website is where they can learn more, I would imagine. It's GroCompass.tv, right?
Yes.
Right, it's GroCompass.tv. The site just went, it's a work in action, it's still being developed, but this, we didn't talk about the date. When is it actually happening? When is this?
2nd, 3rd July.
July 2nd and 3rd. We're talking that's in 3 weeks. That's not nervous at all. It's all good. All right. So, oftentimes I'm going to say that you can know the chances of success of a project by the people involved, right? A VC, you're ex-VC. VC say, what do they invest in? People. They're looking for strong teams.
Yes.
So now I'm going to turn the camera around. We met Emily. Who are you?
I'm Dana Bath Applebaum.
Applebaum?
Yeah.
Wow. We didn't talk about that. I know a lot of Applebaums.
So maybe
American family?
all around.
Okay, what's your background real quick?
TV production news. I've been all around here in Israel. Channel 20, also sports, everything.
For how many years?
Since I remember myself.
Like many years.
Something like 15 years.
15 years. What's your name?
Maya Goodman.
Okay, you're good with English.
Yeah, I'm 27 years already in the TV. Let's see, I started in Channel 2 News. I did the main 8 o'clock news for many years.
Yep.
And then I moved to animation to Fox.
By the way, the news in Israel is kind of like
The highest rating show for the last 27 years.
Right, there you go. Okay.
Channel 2 News.
How long do we know each other, Hila?
For more than 10 years.
That's unbelievable. I look brothers from another, sister from another mister. Okay. What's your background, real quick?
My background is technology, startups, VC. I came from the marketing world.
You were VP marketing?
And I was VP marketing most recently at promo.com.
Before, VP marketing at Viola.
Right.
Will I say that? It's okay?
You can say it.
Viola's, in my humble opinion,
Viola for 12 years.
one of the top VCs in this country, if not number one, definitely one of the top. You were VP, that's where we connected originally.
Right.
And then you went to a company called
Promo.com, video marketing.
Which is like big.
Big, very big. And now I'm here for this amazing initiative leading the editorial content.
Editor-in-chief of this GroCompass initiative. And when Yaki said, I have this woman named Hila who's editor-in-chief, I was like, please, for the love of God, let it be that Hila. And then it was. Score. All right, awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Is highly not optimized for ADD. We're at 8 minutes. My audience's ADD is going, are you sure? No? All right. So Somebody give him.
I can introduce
Yeah, who's
Danny
this good-looking guy?
long-term TV guy, production, veteran of the industry.
At the top of the industry.
Top notch.
Top of the industry. So,
Yeah.
so here's the bottom line. We got the smartest minds around the table, and then there's me. I'm not sure what I'm doing here, but it's all good.
Good color.
There you go. Add some color. Thank you. But we're gonna have a good time with this. That's the most important thing.
Right.
And hopefully we'll change the world. And maybe this will be the one of many.
Right.
We'll create a revolution. Love it. All right. Thanks, guys. Awesome.
Thank
Made it home. What a crazy, incredible day today was. Tomorrow is back-to-back Zooms, so not going in. Just gonna be doing Zooms all day long, interviewing people for GroCompass from literally every single country around the world. I'm telling you, like back-to-back Zooms all day. It's gonna be exciting. Maybe the next day I'll be vlogging, so I'll see you then.